World of Tanks is one of the most successful free-to-play games in the world. We reviewed the Xbox 360 edition earlier this year on Spawn Point, and we were pleasantly surprised. The game felt right at home on a console. So when we heard it was coming to touchscreens, we were cautiously optimistic.
The basic presentation will be familiar to series veterans. Once you select your tank, you wait for the game's matchmaking to select 2 balanced teams, which is thankfully quick. Then you're thrown into a large square patch of undulating terrain dotted with destructible cover.
Enemy destroyed.
And it was here where we rolled into boggy ground. In the past, much of the game has hinged on the complex spotting mechanics. An enemy only lights up if someone on your team can see them.
Enemy detected.
You can forget about that subtlety on touchscreen though. The maps are much smaller, as are the teams. It's now 7 versus 7. In such a confined space, locating the enemy is easy. So light tanks with their high vision ranges are obsolete.
Plus, the indirect fire has been erased too. I want my artillery back, Hex.
So do I. More than ever, the game boils down to flanking. Sneaking around to the side or behind the enemy, hitting weak spots for massive damage is what makes World of Tanks so satisfying.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
But to hit those spots precisely, you need precise controls.
Yeah, absolutely. This kind of game really lends itself to a controller or a mouse and keyboard. But the slip sliding of a tablet glass, I'm not very good with virtual D-pads in general, and I was terrible with this. It's like trying to walk with your legs asleep.
We're covering this position, but not very well. Vehicle destroyed.
To be fair, they did the best possible job they could. The graphics engine has been optimized for the low-end hardware of portable devices, and they had to skimp on the sound effects.
We've hit them hard.
But, you know, you can tell they did their best to make this an authentic World of Tanks product.
Yeah, but it just doesn't come together, does it? Many of the tactics that World of Tanks veterans are familiar with just won't work with this. Such as playing peekaboo. That's where you duck in and out of cover while your shell reloads. I tried hard, but I just could not get it to work. Just driving to the enemy and shooting in their general direction was difficult enough.
Remember when you were doing really well in your T-18 and then you got stuck on a rock?
Ah, rocks. My greatest weakness. How did they know?
Our track is hit. It could break any minute.
You can't invert the Y-axis either, and there's some glaring omissions from the tech tree. There's no pans of 4, no mouse, no Dicamax.
This vehicle is had it.
Are there any redeeming features? Yes, the multiplayer infrastructure works flawlessly. There's a sizable player base, and the smaller, shorter battles are better suited to mobile gaming. And it's still completely free to play. There is no pay-to-win aspect.
I think you're right. This is about as good as they probably could have made it for the touchscreen. But the real question is, should they have? Imagine if they'd taken this World of Tanks brand and made some sort of Advance Wars game. That would be amazing. I really miss Advance Wars.
Final thoughts?
This is a complete misfire. I'm giving it 4 out of 10.
Yeah, room for improvement, I think. I'm giving it 6. And now it's time for the news with Goose. It's not over there.